Hello everybody and welcome back to the Dyson Sphere program. As always, I am Dor, and today we're going to go ahead and wrap up the series here. This game is still early access, so we will most likely come back and take a look at it at a future date. But for right now, this is going to go ahead and be it. So we went ahead and finished off the skeleton sphere of the Dyson Sphere here. So with all of that down, we're only producing 3.59 gigawatts. We are doing kind of okay, right? We're not struggling for power now. So all we need left to do is to go ahead and send up the sales. When we send up the sales, they will go into these things, and it's on this listing here, the sell point. So we need 450 for that one, 306 for that one. So it doesn't tell me on screen anywhere else other than these little things when I click on them to see how many each one of these needs. So I don't know exactly how many of those we're going to need, but we have a couple of these chests filled up, right? Each one of these has 60 stacks of 200. I think that's 12,000 sales per box. So we should kind of be okay. So let me go ahead and set these things in motion, right? We're going to have them feeding out. Let's just do that for right now. That should be fine. All of these are set to their own orbit as well. We went ahead and split them evenly. So we have, I think it was 11 going to 1, 2, 3, and 4, you know? So it should be good there. These things are going to start firing whenever they can. Why aren't they firing? Oh, I guess because we're crossing over the big gas giant right now, so that's going to take a minute here. But if we go over here real quick, right, we have 88 of these things down, these RAID receivers. So what we're going to do is we're going to split these ones evenly as well. We're going to put 44 on power generation, and we're going to have 44 on the photon generation, because for the photon generation, we need that to go ahead and start making these guys, the antimatter fuel rods, and the fuel rods fuel these things, these artificial suns, artificial stars, and we need those to be able to just produce power, right? They produce 75 megawatts worth of power, and you just feed them the fuel rods. That's all you need. And so we're not going to do it today, but we have some of these built, right? And so if we were to go ahead and expand out to a different system, we would use those things instead of all of these solar and wind turbine things we kept taking with us. So we need these guys coming in. We're going to have, I believe, these guys coming out. So we're going to plop some of those in there right now. We have some over here. I broke down our research area, all the little cubes and stuff that were being made. We needed to have coal coming in. We were running into a real issue with coal, so I went ahead and re-dug up these nodes, and we were using those, and now we don't need the coal. We went ahead and built this thing out as well. This is just one of the fracking, X-ray fracking setups. So we were just taking hydrogen and oil and turning it into coal, or the enriched graphite stuff, and that's how we were getting that stuff. And then we don't need any of that anymore, because I was just trying to boost the building of the rocket ships. And that was our holdup. We weren't making enough of that enriched stuff, and that's why we were running into issues here. So let me go ahead and do a belt. Right, we're gonna have one belt bringing these guys through, and then we're gonna have another belt on the other side, bringing the what are these guys called? Critical photons back. And then we need to take these photon things and stick them into particle colliders, right? And those break those down into these guys. I don't actually see them on the thing. I think it's this recipe though. So it gives us the little what is this guy? It gives us the antimatter, and it gives us the hydrogen. We're going to be burning off the hydrogen. All I keep doing is putting those into tanks and then just destroying the tanks, because we don't need hydrogen. We just have so much of it. I hope they add in some type of trash can or something so we can just auto delete items, but right now the best thing we can do is just put it into tanks and destroy them. So that's all we've been doing. So let me go ahead and put down the belts here, and then we can go ahead and get these things rolling here. Okay, so we have both sides hooked up here. So we have 88 on this side, 88 on the other side, and 44 on this side, and 44 on that side are both set to the photon generation, and then the other half are set to the power generation. So we're going to go ahead and have these things coming in, right? We had some in our inventory, so we're just going to dump those in there. We're going to have this one set to demand. We'll leave it on 5,000 just for the time being. I'm not too worried about that. That's going to be bringing stuff in too. Let's go ahead and max that out. Let's do 1% drones, 1% drones on this side as well. Oh, you know what? We don't have any power on this guy. We'll fix that in a second. We need to go down here. Where is it at? Right here. We need this one making the things again. Oh, you know what? We never even disabled that one. Okay, so we're going to have the stones being made. We had 5,000 in this thing, so that's going to be running for the next little while. And if we take a look over here, we have our thing coming together pretty nicely. So we have all this stuff going around. We just had the robot guy like 2 seconds ago pop up telling us that we've created the swarm. So I don't know. I don't really notice any difference other than when we didn't have this thing, it was actually making orbits. Now it's turning all these things blue, and it's absorbing these things into the sphere itself. But I don't see any of the little like in-between bits forming yet, so maybe that's not going to happen for a little while longer. Let me warp on over, or actually I don't need to warp on over to that. I need to go to this thing. Let me just see if any of these are close to being done. 72, no, these things are really low still. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna let the game run then, because this is gonna take a little while. I think we have the platage coming in, or the sails consistently being made, right? I don't think we have any shortages going on there. We basically just have the sails being made is the main thing, and the what do we just make right now? The photon stuff. So everything else is kind of disabled. Like the components are being made if they need to be made for certain objects, but most of the time they're all disabled, just so we can kind of have the most coming out of the items there, so we're not causing any bottlenecks and things like that. So yeah, let me go ahead and let the game run for a little bit. I'm gonna probably let it run for like an hour or two, so I can go ahead and get some of the sphere shell done. Oh, that's a word to come out of my mouth. So yeah, we're gonna let it run for a little bit, and hopefully, is that different? No, that's just the sun coming through the cracks. Yeah, hopefully we come back in like an hour or two, and the thing is kind of getting done. Oh, you know what? It actually is kind of getting done. We have some of them showing up here. Cool. I wonder if can we actually see that on this screen? I don't think we can. Let me see. There was some. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we can right there. So it's darkening out the area. So I wonder if when this thing is fully covered with these sails, is it going to black out the sun and we're not going to see it anymore, or is that something that's not going to happen? Kind of looks like that might be the thing, unless these change colors, because they are just like little black covers going down. So who knows? Okay, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna let the game run for a little bit, like I said, and hopefully by the time we come back, that thing is a good ways done, if not completely done. But all of these things are getting these things now, right? These things boost the output. It's supposed to boost it 50% or something like that, 100%. What do these do? Increase. It just increases the max output. So I think we were getting like 2 or 3 megawatts, and now we're getting. That's the photon one. We're getting 5.4, and the photon ones are getting 27 megawatts. Although these aren't outputting the power to us, but they're sucking up the power to produce these things a little faster. So yeah, let me let this thing run for a little bit. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and set up this thing really quick, just so we can get some of those fuel rods going, and we can see what the little artificial star things look like as well before we wrap up today. Okay, so we're just about done with this thing. There's a couple more sections that need to be completed, but we're pretty much done with it. So if we go ahead and click on this guy over here, gives us a little bit of a better angle on what's done and what's not. So we have a couple sections left, and this should be done in the next, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. This thing is filling in pretty quickly here. We went ahead and moved our launchers, right? We were on our initial planet on the South Pole, North Pole, whichever one of them we were set up on, and they just weren't shooting all that frequently. So I went ahead and took all of the launchers that we had made. I think we had like 300 sitting in one of the towers. So we went ahead and put them over here on the secondary planet. We did a little equator wrap, and we did a 2 wide all the way around area. I think it was 110 or 111 of these guys going all the way around. And then we have the whatchamacallits connecting in. I guess I didn't set this guy. Let's go ahead and fix that. I guess I should have flown over this earlier to see if I missed any, but figured I got them all. But they are still all launching, so that's that thing. Giant mess. They're all connected in, and it sped the whole thing up a whole ton. These things have been firing nonstop. We've had a ton of the sails made, and everything's just been rolling. On this planet, they would stop shooting every now and again because the orbit would get close to the sun, and the rocket things wouldn't have the angle to be launching, so they'd just be sitting there idle doing nothing for a little while until the orbit got away from them. But let's go ahead and set up the other thing really quick. These things have just been sitting stationary because we don't have any of the things in motion. Oh, you know what? Why that's not on? Let me turn all that back on. Let me go ahead and set these things up, right? We're going to be running these from one of these guys. We need 50 of you. We need the conveyors. We need the... Where's the arms at? There we go. Let me take some of those. So we're going to be setting up these guys to go ahead and run some of the antimatter fuel cells. And we should go ahead and have some of those going here in a minute. Let me go ahead and set that up. Okay, so with that set up, we're just going to have a line going down because these things are big enough that I can't actually squeeze two things down the middle. So we're just going to have one line feeding the antimatter stuff, or the critical photon, and that's going to be feeding the machines. There's going to be 10 of these, and we should be getting the antimatter stuff out of this in a moment. So let's go ahead and set that to demand. So we're going to need a couple of those things because we need 10 of them to go into one of these. And I currently have 1,000 titanium, and I'm making 1,000 of the little blue ball things, annihilation constraint spheres. So we have enough to make 1,000 if we want to go that route. But for right now, we're just going to make as many as we can as this thing starts running. Ooh, we got 20 already. So the way I have this set up as well, I have the hydrogen that's just going to go ahead and head up here into these tanks. These are the tanks that I have set up to just go ahead and delete all the hydrogen because we just have way too much of that stuff going on right now in our system. So we can make 3 right now. We can make a bunch more. This is actually processing through a lot faster than I thought it would. I didn't realize how quick it was. Let's do that. Let's take some more hydrogen. We actually need the other thing on us, so we don't have any of those. Let me grab some really quick. We can go ahead and make a couple in our inventory here. I have these things being made in one of these guys because it takes 20 seconds to craft one of these. And if I just do it in my inventory, it's going to take me forever. So I'm just doing it there. We need this to be made in an assembler, actually. So let me grab one of those from our tower. So we can go ahead and plop this one down over here. Oops, let me go do that again. There we go. We need you making this guy. And we need that in there, that, and that. That'll make a couple. And then if we place this guy down, right, it's a big little thing here. We can also have it auto-feeding when we have those things being made, but we don't have any being made, so there's no point of setting that up like that. And then we plop that in there, and it pops up a little tiny star. That looks pretty cool. This will give us... Does it change power output? No. So it's a 75 megawatt output. It tells you on the crafting recipe. So we can... Like I said earlier, we can also just take these with us instead of having to take a bunch of solar and wind and stuff with us. Oh, this doesn't have the antimatter stuff to be crafting constantly. Okay, that's why it stopped. So that's cool. We're not going to use these, to be honest, not right now. Maybe on another playthrough, who knows. For right now, that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode, though. So we're going to end it there, kind of, right? We'll be back, hopefully in the future. This thing is, I think, all the way done because I don't see any more of the blue stuff. Yeah, there's no more of the blue stuff going in. So we just have the solar swarm circling the thing now. The Dyson sphere is fully built, which is pretty nice. Let's see how much we're actually getting off the sphere itself. The sphere itself is generating 5.22 gigawatts, and all of the solar sails, we have 30,000 sails in the air right now. That's adding an additional 1.4 gigs, or 1.04 gigawatts. So we're making 6.27, and this thing's gonna burn for a little while because I just put another fuel rod in there. Yeah, it's gonna be burning for a little while. So we're not, oh, actually I didn't put it in there, but it's still gonna be burning for a while. It's not even halfway done yet. But we are bringing in 1.18 gigawatts. So that is the most power we've seen through our system, at least demand or supply wise. So yeah, we're pretty good with that. But anyways, that's gonna go ahead and be it for the series. Hope you guys enjoyed. One more look at the sphere here. That's pretty cool. Next time, we'll probably move our entire system to a better star, a brighter star, so we get more power out of it at the start instead of having to get it halfway completed, if not all the way completed, to really be able to become dependent on it and not have to have solar and stuff down. But for right now, that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode and the series for a little while. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.